we all have to learn in life is the potential that we all have. Every one of us is created unique. Every one of us. There is no other human being like you. You are unique. Every one of us is unique. It's like fingerprints and some parts of our body. It's unique to us. We are all unique individuals. We have to seek our own potential. And at my stage in my life, I've seen through my life people who have decided not to do this, not to do that, not to go for this job, not to acquire this skill, or not to read up this or acquire that knowledge and so on, just because they thought it wasn't possible for them. Who decided that? They decided for themselves. They made that choice. If you make a choice and say, I can't do that, you won't be able to do that. You will never know what your potential is until you try. You try your best. In fact, not just your best, beyond your best. Take some risks and say, let me try something I didn't think I was able to do. That's when you take a risk and experiment with things that you haven't done before. Take a risk and go where you haven't been before. And don't put a glass ceiling for yourself. That glass ceiling is you. If you think you can't do something, it's only you telling you that. People outside sometimes will reinforce that and say, you know, I don't think you're capable. Some teachers have the tendency of saying to their students, you can't do A levels, you can't do this, you can't do higher maths, you can't become a doctor, you can't. That tendency is to judge your potential. I think 9 times out of 10 teachers can be wrong. They can be wrong in their judgment because they have a very narrow view of what you're capable of doing. It's like an iceberg. You know what an iceberg is? In the sea, you see just the top of the iceberg, and underneath the sea, there's a whole lot more. And they don't see under the sea. They just see the tip of the iceberg. They don't see your potential. Your potential to become a doctor, to become anything you want, is there in you. You have to decide. You have to decide not to have a glass ceiling of your own. Just go with your heart, go with your capability of taking every opportunity that is thrown your way. If you decide you want to be something, there's nothing to stop you. Nothing. Don't forget, if you're a Muslim, you have a faith in Allah. You have iman in Allah. Allah is the authority. Allah is all-powerful. And therefore, you have total power from Allah. You can do anything you want with your life. Life is precious. It's so precious. Don't waste it by giving yourself negative thoughts, because you need to be positive yourself. You need to be aware of your potential, and you need to know that you can do things that perhaps you never thought you could before. It's like some people you must have seen in films where a lion runs after a human being, and that human being becomes fantastically capable of climbing on a tree or doing something to escape from that fear of the lion. You know, they are capable of doing things under that stress, under that tension, which they didn't think that. Now, life is not like that. Life is not tension. Life is a gift from Allah. So in order to actually acquire your full potential and make sure that you can do things that, you know, Allah has gifted you, you have to experiment. You have to try things that you haven't been able to do before. You should construct knowledge. You should actually have advanced cognitive skills so that you can really acquire the knowledge and understanding of the world around you in a way which helps you and supports you in becoming what you want to be, what you can be. I think there's nothing in a place like England, in Britain and Europe, the opportunities are endless. You can actually do anything you wish. It's up to you. You've got to make that choice. You can't blame others. You can't say, well, he told me, she told me, or they told me I couldn't do it. You've got to decide. And you can do things that other people perhaps thought you couldn't. And even you thought you couldn't. I think that's the way to look at your life. It's your precious life. You only have it once. It's like schooling. You go through school once, it won't come back. You just go travel on. The journey moves on. The journey towards Allah, at the end of the day, we're all going to Allah. The only thing that is certain is that we're all going to die one day. Before you die, try your utmost to achieve your full potential and show the world what you can do.